welcome back to How To Home Fix. Today we're going to be talking real quick about how to unclog a kitchen sink, or most commonly a bathroom sink. They get a lot of hair and stuff like that inside with the toothpaste mixing, makes like a glue. So generally it's going to be good to clean it out once in a while, or when the bathroom sink does clog up, it's a good idea to know how to do it, and it'll save you quite a bit of money on a plumber. So basically, a real quick instruction on how the plumbing works underneath your sink is, if you look here, this is underneath the sink, and then you have your pipe that goes straight down. This is where your wastewater comes out, and it comes into what we call a P-trap. This is that U-shaped pipe that you see right here. Now what this is, the job of this P-trap is to hold water so that gases from your waistline don't come up the pipe and filter through the sink. Okay, and it's also a place where you can have some clogging, where the hair and things like that can't travel up through and back into your main waistline. It gets clogged up right here, or it may get clogged up in your stack pipe. Also commonly, it'll get clogged up right about here, where right behind here is where your stopper for your sink is. This is the rod, and we'll show you this a little bit later. It comes through and hair gets wrapped around inside there, and we'll show you how to get that out. Okay? So right now let's talk about how to disconnect all this. So basically all you're going to need for this is a pair of channel locks. You can get these for about $10 to $15 at the store. You may need a pair of needle nose pliers, or some kind of pliers with a long nose. You can also use a coat hanger sometimes. This is just for grabbing that hair that's inside one of these longer pipes that you can't reach. You're going to need a nice bucket, and that's just to catch the water, and maybe a towel that you don't really care about to clean up afterwards. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to disconnect these pipes. It's very easy to do. Take your channel locks and simply place it around the locking nuts and turn counterclockwise until it becomes loose enough to turn by hand. And unscrew it all the way. As you can see, I've disconnected it from the pipe. Now the pipe is loose. All these are pressure fittings. When they screw together, they lock onto the pipe, and it doesn't take much to take them off. Now you're going to do the same here for right down here on this pipe here. So we're going to readjust our channel locks, and we're going to do the same thing to disconnect here. Counterclockwise. We unscrew. Now you want to hold the pipe, and as you can see, water came all out, and that's what our bucket is for. And we know our P-trap is doing its job because the water came out. So just go ahead and dump the P-trap out, and then you want to inspect the inside of the pipes here, just to see, mainly, to see if there's any foreign material clogs or anything like that in there. Go ahead and clear that out. Now the other part is going to be up here at your stack pipe. That's another place where there might be a clog. And for this, what we want to do is take the stopper out. So what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect behind right here where you see a small clip. You can generally use these. Sometimes it's some sort of other clip, but generally you can take it right off the rod like so, and it's just a little clip like so, and it just holds that rod on there. And then we're going to take this rod, which this rod connects to the stopper handle on top of your sink. So we're just going to pull that off, and then behind right here on the stopper rod is another locking nut. So we're going to turn that counterclockwise as well to take that out. And by the way, if your stopper is not working anymore, this is exactly how you'll fix it. You'll go get a new rod like this and you'll see what's on the inside. It's got a little ball right on the inside, just like that. And you can see how material gets wrapped around it and things like that. So you're gonna take this out. And by the way, what this does right here, it connects to the stopper on the inside of the sink and pulls it up and down. So when you pull this rod up and down, it moves your stopper up and down. And that's how the stopper in your sink works. Okay, so all we're gonna do now is, I'm not gonna disconnect this pipe here. We're not gonna disconnect this pipe. However, what you can do is look up inside. If you have to, you can unscrew this pipe, and you know, all the piping under sinks are gonna be different depending on age, contractor that put them in, and whatnot. But just disconnect as much as you have to. Go ahead and clean out as much as you have to. You can use your needle nose pliers to pull out anything. And then you just put it all back together. Okay, now that we've cleaned everything up and our pipes are good and clean, we're gonna go ahead and reconnect some things. The only thing I really want to show you here, I mean, if you disconnected it, you know how to put it back together. But the only thing, a common mistake a homeowner may make, is when they put these pipes together, they may want to use too much force when screwing them. And of course, you know, you're screwing them clockwise this time. But you got to remember, these nuts are plastic. They're very brittle and they can break pretty easily. In fact, this nut here, if we zoom in, you can see, and I'll show you. This nut here, you can see has a crack in it. See that crack? That crack is from overforce on tightening. So what we're going to do is replace that at a later time, but for now I just want to make the point that you don't want to over tighten these things. Usually hand tight is just fine. If you think you need a little bit more, all you want to do is take your channel locks and just snug it up. Just a little bit of a turn. That's all you want to do. And remember, these are very brittle, and they're not pressurized pipes. They're only for drains, so it's not so important you get them so tight. Also, you may see plumber's putty or something like that sticking up underneath it. Generally, you don't need plumber's putty. Some contractors, some homeowners may want to use it. You can if you want, but it's not necessarily. So that's how to unclog a kitchen or bathroom sink. So good luck, and hope you save some money on that plumber today. Well, this has been another episode of How To Home Fix. Hey, for more instructional videos and tips and tricks from the pros, visit us at www.howtohomefix.com.